If you're in the market for a new home or even just ready to make some renovations, it can be tempting to follow the trends. But our friends at Veranda Magazine tell us that taking on some historic design traditions can actually save you some money in the long run. Joining me now is Steele Marcoux, editor-in-chief for Veranda. And Steele, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. We are especially passionate about this topic.
Well, one historic feature designers seem to love: high ceilings.
Yes, we interviewed several designers for this feature, and they all agreed that high ceilings are a historic design feature that we really ought to embrace today. Not only do they add a sense of grandeur to your home since everything gets a little bit taller, but they can also save you money. With high ceilings, the warm air gets trapped at the top of the room while the cooler air remains lower, thereby lowering the cost of cooling your home and lowering your dependence on air conditioning during our very, very warm summers here.
And still, there's one traditional feature that may help us save some money on our power bill. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, similar to high ceilings, large windows can actually lower your energy costs. Larger, well-placed windows usher in a lot more natural light, which will then decrease your reliance on electricity to light your home throughout the day and kind of duskier times. The design experts that we spoke to also pointed out that with today's triple pane windows, you can put in large windows and not have to worry about heat loss and gain. And best of all, you'll feel more connected to the outdoors, which will contribute to your overall sense of well-being at home, which we all know is so important.
And there are some ways to cut costs when refinishing old floors. Isn't that right, Steele?
Yes, I loved this insight from the designers that we interviewed. We love a painted floor, and those actually date back to the 15th century in France. Painting your floors is a really cost-effective way to refinish old floors that have been sanded so many times they really just can't be sanded or stained anymore. The design experts we talked to also recommended this treatment for adding character to brand new floors, kind of lending that sense of history to your home too, which we love.
All right, Steele, great advice there. Thank you again for joining us today. And you can find many more historic design traditions on veranda.com. You can also scan that QR code you see at the bottom of your screen to subscribe to the magazine. Veranda is owned by Hearst, which is the parent company of WVTM 13.